Hey Craig, welcome. Hey Besta. Interesting. Well, that's a pretty easy ban. Hey, HG Butt, welcome. Yeah, apologies, I just turned it off then. The deck should be live now, which is nice, through Twitch. So Cardboard Live is up to date, very cool. That should be everything. Nice. Hello and welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a different deck. I guess because of the excitement around companions, I did want to try it myself. I don't think Maverick is a deck that really lines up with a companion well. Maybe the 80 card companion, I can't think of the name, but I think for what it's worth, Maverick just isn't a companion deck, unless you really want to tweak what the deck is all about. But I still think Maverick has a spot in the meta. I don't think it's greatly positioned against some of the decks, but you know, hopefully we find a spot where Maverick can kind of perform at least against the tier 1 decks, even if it's not a tier 1 deck itself. But this deck is, of course, Green-Black Depths. The one thing that I really like about this... Hey, HG Butt. A huge welcome for the 2 months with Twitch Prime. That's very cool. A huge thank you. Huge thank you. So the one thing that I really like about this deck as a companion deck is that you don't really have to change anything. The main thing that I lost from the board in this deck was Force of Vigor. The deck is also known to play things like Toxic Deluge or Liliana Last Hope, but I don't think they're an intricate part of the deck. So Green-Black Depths is a pretty nice deck to play Lurrus in. You have a lot of really good 2-drops in Vampire Hexmage, Dark Confidant, Sylvan Library that you can actually get back with Lurrus. You can also get back Elvish Reclaimer or Mox Diamond if you wish. The one thing that I really like about Lurrus in this deck is I want to play Life in a Loam, but it can sometimes be a feel bad if you hit your threats and put him in the bin. But Lurrus, of course, gives you the option to Loam however you want, and then cast the creatures that have been loamed from the bin back into play, which is really nice. You don't often see that. You may have seen it when players play Sevinne's Reclamation in Loam decks. Oh, of course, it doesn't. Interesting. Yeah, I was I was just tunnel visioned into the 2 CMC. I forgot that it's each permanent card in your starting deck. Yeah, no, that's very true. Force of Vigor can be played. I don't think I actually have any, and I'm not too sure if I would play. I guess I would play them. They are pretty good. Okay, let me quickly fix this deck a little bit, because Force of Vigor is, I think, a great card right now. There's a lot of decks playing Grim Monolith, which, you know, usually the decks playing Grim Monolith are getting the value out of it when it comes down, so being able to destroy it isn't that great. But, you know, sometimes you hopefully can just hit the right card when you need it, so I don't mind playing Force of Vigor. Exardian, that's a great point. I actually read Lurrus completely wrong. Yeah, so Lurrus is, of course, each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana cost 2 or less. So non-permanent cards you don't worry about. Yeah. All right. Well, that's coming. So that's gonna be interesting to see how I change the board. I think it's gonna be the Assassin's Trophy that I drop. I kind of like the double up on Collector Ouphe, but maybe it's the second Ouphe that I take out. The only thing that's really nice is that I can turn one Ouphe in this deck with Mox Diamond. It does, of course, turn off the Mox Diamond, but against a lot of the decks, you want to get out a 2-drop Hate Bear like Collector Ouphe to slow them down a bit. So that's an interesting one. I still like Safekeeper and Veil as doubles. I kind of like the board being a lot of 2-drops. Or 2 copies of each. Huge shout out to Card Order as well. Very cool to just be able to grab cards ad hoc when I want them. So we're definitely playing Force of Vigor. But maybe it's just... Maybe it's just the one? I guess we can see how this league goes. Yeah, I also really like Ouphe, especially as a 2-of. I think as a 1-of, I'm not really going to see it. And of course, this deck isn't a deck that plays anything like Green Sun Zenith, so I think 2 is fine, and then Force of Vigor later. -1 Decay, 1 Inquisition, 1 Trophy, 1 Ouphe, 2 Vigor. I would also play 3 Surgicals. Interesting. I guess my thought process for Cage over Surgical is that Cage hits the new Reanimator companion, but Surgical doesn't really do anything, unfortunately. But that is something that... I think I'd love to put this list through a league and then maybe go from there and see how we want to change things. Yeah, sadly, Surgical doesn't hit the Garuda list, but I do really like some of those changes. I think there's a lot of little intricacies that you could change. So like these 2 Inquisitions could be Duresses, this 1 Assassin's Trophy could be the 4th Decay or just something else. But one thing that I really like about Green Black Depths is just how consistent it is. You can see from this list there's a lot of 4-ofs. The 2-ofs really just being the Libraries, the Loams, the Inquisitions, and everything else just being pretty much the full playset, which is pretty great because most of the games turn out to be sort of similar. I'm going to see how this goes, and if we want, we might even play a second league to see how fast this one goes. But hey, I hope you're all well. Obviously, it's a pretty rough time in isolation for some people. Can be pretty tough trying to get into the rhythm of it all, but I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all safe and healthy, along with your friends and family. Yeah, I think Force might be a bit flexible, but I think one thing to also think about is my the amount of green in my deck. Definitely going to reveal my companion. And this is an interesting hand. Double Reclaimer is kind of nice. We also have one piece of the combo. So what I kind of really want to find in an opening hand is probably some piece of disruption like Thoughtseize. A Mox Diamond's usually pretty great because, of course, as the game goes on, Mox Diamond just becomes a little bit worse. So if I'm playing, I guess the Loam's nice because it turns on, or hopefully turns on, the Reclaimers pretty quickly without us actually having to activate the Reclaimers. I think his hand is okay for a game 1. We have access to all our colors. It is a little bit fair, but you know, having one piece of the combo, having Urborg is really nice as well. Probably one of the most underrated cards in the match, in the deck. Just being able to turn on your Dark Depths and your basic forest into a swamp is really good. Also, shout out to Green Beacon. I have their Wayfeather Tropical Pale Ale, which should be pretty nice. Let's go for Peatland. Hey, thank you very much. I'm sure it's a pretty rough time in Italy, so I hope you stay safe and you're okay. Thanks for checking in. Cheers, everyone. Not too sure what we're playing against. So a bit of an open book. Misty Rainforest. Alright. So here I'm probably happy just to go... Bayou, interesting. Probably Bayou into Loam. I guess we could also go Urborg, and then just hold up Reclaimer. End step, fetch away the Peatland to get Thespian stage, and then untap. And then next turn we actually have Dark Depths online because Urborg allows us to produce 2 mana just between these 2 cards. So I think that's probably the better line. They're not playing a companion. I think I am going to go for just holding up the combo here. Hey, Full Out Blood, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Misty by itself doesn't give away too much. It looks like they're just... Okay. Luckily didn't miss a land drop there. Ah, okay. This looks like it's going to be blue-green OmniTell. So maybe here I actually want to go for... Huh. Maybe I actually want to go for Wasteland here. I don't think WTF by itself is considered rude. So I don't mind that. You would thread the combo? Yeah, I think the combo is pretty good here as well. What they could have is Intuition. So what I'm really scared of is Omniscience, Cunning Wish, Shared Summons, get Emrakul, and Grizzlebrand. But I think we don't know what they have in hand, so maybe it's actually better just going for what we know we have. So let's sacrifice this. We do have Karakas, which is nice as well. So let's get stage. Untap. Oh, Mox Diamond's pretty nice. Mox Diamond allows us to play the second Reclaimer. Definitely play Depths. Play Mox. Pitch the Bayou. Play Reclaimer. And just pass. I guess we can attack here, let's be honest. There's no reason not to attack. This looks like Intuition. Impulse, okay. Not too bad. It means they definitely don't have the piece in hand. They have to try to find one, which Impulse is pretty good at doing, so. That's the thing. So we had no, they had no cantrips, but I assume if they don't have a cantrip and they kept the hand, they probably just have it, or at least have one half. This is going to be interesting. This is definitely a matchup where I do like the Force of Vigor over Collector Ouphe, because you can try to force the Omniscience. Wow, they didn't have anything. Okay. In response to their first spell they cast. So Omni's going to be pretty interesting. It's probably going to be a race to who can just go off quicker. I think the Decays are probably the weak spot of the deck here. Ice Fang Codal can be a bit annoying, but I think because we have Step, we're pretty happy just to kind of take out the Abrupt Decays. Definitely want the Force, and maybe the Veils. They don't play Pithing Needle, but I could name Grizzlebrand if I really wanted to. I don't mind the Rite of Consumption either, because it just allows us to combo off a little bit faster. I like Veil because it means our stuff just can't be countered, which is kind of nice. Started playing Perfect Storm. Interesting. What sort of variant is Perfect Storm? Do I want anything else? Could probably go down on some number of Bob on the draw. Maybe one Bob and just bring in one right. Hey, Debinder, thank you. The arm is going well. I have it out of the sling, which is really good. Big fan of that. But yeah, another 4 to 6 weeks before I can kind of use it. Can't really lift anything, which is kind of annoying, but that is fine. Yeah, let's just go with this. Maybe Bob is just really good. This is a tough one. Library's really nice, especially because we can pretty much use it as much as we want. Show and Tell is always a deck where I guess being above 15 is relevant, but otherwise your life total isn't really relevant. It does cost more mana. Maybe that's just overkill. Maybe just bringing in these three is fine. I don't think anything else is really that great. But yeah, I think one thing to consider with the Force of Vigor is actually our green count, because it might actually be a bit low, depending on it. This is an interesting one. It's a one lander. We can cast both Elvish Reclaimer and Veil, but we can't cast Thoughtseize or Inquisition. We do run 27 lands, 23. So there's 22 left in the deck that we actually want, because Dark Depths we of course don't want to draw into. But I don't think this is a great hand to keep. I don't want to rely on just drawing into a black source. Yeah, Wasteland Step Karakas, very true. This is great. We'll keep this. And I kind of want the Bog, because I want to probably put the Bog under the Mox Diamond. I do like double Thoughtseize. I do like Sylvan Library to keep our hand going. Maybe it's the Crop. The Crop's nice because it finds us one. It pretty much gives us one piece of the combo. So it could be. It allows us to draw into either one and then have the other one in Crop rotation, which is nice. But maybe it is Crop. The only other reason that I like Crop is that if they somehow get a Grizzlebrand into play early on, it is our answer through Crop rotation for Karakas. But I think I'm okay here just going for Crop. I think hand disruption is going to be really nice, even though we're on the draw. Yeah, now that you mention it, but a lot of cards sadly don't tap for black. What did they do? Verdant's pretty nice. Verdant means we have another green source. They chose not to shuffle. Interesting. I'm going to keep this Verdant for the Sylvan Library. I still think we Thoughtseize this turn. Wow. Okay, so if we take Cunning Wish, we can then take Eureka if we want. I definitely like taking Cunning Wish here. It also turns off the Force of Will. They also need 2 green for this, so the island kind of puts them a turn behind. The question is, do I want to Thoughtseize them again, or just do it next turn? I guess if they, like, worst case, they draw into Show and Tell. They play City of Traders, Show and Tell in Emrakul. We put in Sylvan Library. So I think maybe it's worth taking the Emrakul as well. Maybe not. Thoughtseize taking Eureka is also pretty nice. What do I gain from waiting? If I wait a turn, I open myself up to them drawing Show and Tell. Emery does shuffle the stuff back in, but I think that's okay. So we know about these 4. Alright. Could have also taken the Force of Will if I didn't want them to draw into a blue card and then also be able to counter the Sylvan Library. Okay. So to be fair, maybe I should have waited because the Thoughtseize allows me to most likely get the Sylvan Library into play. And because we've already mulliganed, I think Sylvan Library is obviously the card that I'm most interested in getting down on the table. Crop rotation's interesting. I guess we get to go for Sylvan Library here. It does resolve, okay. So we know about these 3. Misty, okay. Still 1 left over. Interesting. My light just went out. Alright. What do we see? Inquisition's kind of nice. It doesn't take Eureka. I feel like double crop rotation nearly does it. I'm not going to pay for the second one. Because we know about these 3 cards. So if one Inquisition resolves, then the other one doesn't have anything to actually take. So put on top and pay for this. But if we float 2 mana, crop 1 away, Interesting. Okay, so we kind of actually have the combo as well. Because we can get a Bayou, float black, green, green. Sack this, black, green, and pool. Get Dark Depths, float black. We have black, black, green in the pool. I can then use the green to crop rotate away the Urborg. We have black, black left. I get Thespian stage and use the black, black to copy Dark Depths. So I think I just like passing here with Inquisition up. Oh, sorry, with double crop rotation up. Because it actually gives us a line to win. No land either. Interesting. Alright, let's do it. Let's go for Snow-Covered Forest. Float these. Crop away this. Get Dark Depths. Float a black. Crop away the Urborg. Wow, nothing. Thespian stage. Copy Dark Depths. Maybe they have Icewind Codal? Wow, they didn't have anything. Nice. Very cool. Well, I guess when you got it, you got it. So, that's pretty nice. But yeah, interesting game. Obviously, the Thoughtseizes were quite nice, just to slow them down. But for my opponent to not have anything is pretty interesting. Show and Tell seems like an interesting matchup. I feel like the hand disruption really helps, and of course having Karakas in the deck. But otherwise, it's definitely a deck where I rather see Assassin's Trophy than Abrupt Decay. It probably was too greedy. I guess I also like that we had the Sylvan Library out, so I could probably just pay another 8 and most likely see at least 2 more lands. It's just, it's tough as well, because if I'm waiting, then I'm giving my opponent more time to set up as well, when I know that they only have half the combo. Playing against Rob. Yeah, greedy, it's tough with crop rotation as well. Alright, reveal Lurrus. This hand is nice. Thoughtseize turn 1. Could Reclaimer, we'll see what we are playing against, but we'll definitely keep it. Sylvan Library is really nice as well. Rob went to 6. Okay. Mana Confluence. Is this Dredge? Faithless Looting. Okay. Interesting. Then that makes me want to Elvish Reclaimer first to hopefully get Bojuka Bog online. Karakas. Doesn't do a whole lot here. Let's go for Bayou into Reclaimer. Get the graveyard up here for y'all. Narcomoeba, okay, and a bridge. Five cards also still in hand for my opponent. black. Cabal Therapy. Okay. Crop Rotation's a pretty good name. Luckily, our Crop Rotation is in play currently. Vampire Hexmage is actually pretty funny in this matchup because we can just sack it to get rid of bridges. Ooh, 3 bridges? Okay. Yeah. Just gonna 6 this one. So I think the play is just gonna be Snow-Covered Forest and then sack the Snow-Covered Forest for Bojuka Bog. Verdant. Is there a reason to play the Verdant over the Forest? I don't believe so. Kind of like the Verdant Catacombs. Just to get another basic. Do we want to do anything now or do we wait? Ichorid is a upkeep trigger, so it's not like we can wait for them to dredge more and then hit them. And I'm probably not going to let this Ichorid get out of hand. They do have a Stinkweed Imp they can exile to it. I think just hitting here is probably the best bet. I don't want to get too carried away with being too like, there's a word for it. I can't think of it. These zombies do add up. Wow, that's gonna concede. Lurrus, yeah. I always forget about Lurrus. That's the one thing. Hey, Guru Plague, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I believe I saw you on Twitter. Yeah, nice. So Dredge is an interesting one. I definitely like Grafdigger's Cage and Spellbomb. I probably don't like the trophy. I think we can probably take out most of the hand disruption. Collector Ouphe is interesting, but if they're playing LED, they're probably playing it on turn 1 before Collector Ouphe really does anything. Force of Vigor is interesting. I wonder if I like going up on creatures, just to really just have more blockers, because they can win just by going wide with Hexmage. Sorry, with zombies. Veils are interesting as well because of Cabal Therapy. One more card. Maybe it is Force of Vigor, especially if they're playing... No, I was going to say if they're playing Silent Gravestone, but that doesn't really interact with Grafdigger's Cage or Bojuka Bog too well. So I think it might just be a Veil. I might even just drop the trophy for a second Veil because after turn 2, Cabal Therapy can be very good. We kind of hope for Grafdigger's Cage, of course, but I think this is okay. Veils are on the edge. Probably a lot better on the draw. Sorry, on the plate. Really want that Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, well this is a pretty perfect hand. Red mana. Looting first? We're just going to 6 here, unfortunately. Oh, and they already have the Cabal Therapy there. And an Archimedes trigger. Interesting. Alright, so they get a flashback on this looting as well. Is that a second Narcomoeba? Okay. And another Cabal Therapy, so they can name either Crop Rotation or Cage and then just take the second one. Ugh. I could concede here if I really wanted to. Okay, this is interesting. So now I believe they only have one more Cabal Therapy left and they can't take both Cage and Crop Rotation. Oh, wow, okay. Rough. That's pretty rough. Especially to, yeah, name Elvish Reclaimer, but then just not see that we have, you know, Crop Rotation and Cage is pretty rough. Well, deck so far is coming okay. Yeah, that's pretty rough. You did luckily have the nice start of double Cabal Therapy, but just, yeah, missing the one is pretty rough. Yeah, the mills were pretty bad as well, let's be honest. But yeah, just fortunate enough to draw a 7 with both Grafdigger's Cage and Crop Rotation. Yeah, no Bridge, no Hogak. A big sigh for you. Because yeah, I think if we both get pretty good hands, it's a pretty fun matchup. Kind of have to, like, I have to make sure that I'm playing around your graveyard just going off, and you have to play a little bit around me having some sort of instant speed effect, like Corrupt for Bog, or like if you do have removal for Grafdigger's Cage or not. Yeah, it's fair enough, especially because it just becomes a bigger threat early on. And then it's just also just an instant speed. You know, I don't have to have any cards in hand. I'm not playing Dryad Arbor, which some decks did. I'm not playing Dryad Arbor because I don't think there's a lot of like target player sacks a creature around, like Liliana's Triumph or Diabolic Edict effects. So I'm not playing Dryad Arbor, but that is usually a really nice card for Dredge because you can sack it to Crop Rotation and Elvish Reclaimer to then turn off bridges, which is really cool. J France. This hand is sweet. Nice to have Mox Diamond and also Loam. And then some nice interaction in Thoughtseize, removal in Abrupt Decay. Elvish Reclaimer is a nice threat, especially with Loam already in hand. So I think this is pretty close to a perfect hand. I kind of want to see like a Misty or a Scalding Tarn. I don't want to see like an LED. Mana Confluence. Okay, this could be Dredge again. Interesting. Golgari and Stinkweed Imp. Okay. Street Wraith. Okay. Narcomoeba. Nothing else. Okay. I wonder if I Thoughtseize here. I can definitely Thoughtseize and Reclaimer. So we can go Verdant, Mox, pitch Bayou. I think it's worth hitting my opponent. If they had LED, they would have definitely played it. But maybe they have something else. I'm not actually too sure of the non-creature suite of cards within Dredge. Yeah, I think because they already have Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard, so hitting a Golgari Grave Troll isn't the worst. It's not like I'm turning on Dredge just by Thoughtseizing them, so... Let's go for Bayou. Thoughtseize first. They do have Breakthrough. Reclaimer. And just pass. Yeah, I guess we just hope that this this Dredge isn't like a fantastic Dredge. In the games that go long as well, I do actually have access to a second Bojuka Bog because I can get Wasteland my own Bojuka Bog, Loam back Bojuka Bog, and then play it again. Bridge, Cabal Therapy, okay. Hey, look at boring. We haven't had the chance to cast Lurrus, which hopefully we do at some point. That would be pretty fun. But it's nice to have. To be fair, I've played probably 10 matches with Lurrus in Depths today, and I haven't cast it that much. Most of all because I just forget about it. And I just, I'm sitting there with 3 mana just passing turn. No great blocks here. We also want to have Bojuka Bog, of course, so I want to keep this around. The question is, do I allow them to Dredge next turn, or do I Bojuka Bog in my turn? So we untap, we have access to 3 mana. If we draw into a 1 mana creature, that's great, like another Reclaimer. But otherwise... I think we're okay with letting them get the Icarid back again, and then hitting their graveyard at the end of draw step. What do they name? Vampire Hexmage. Okay. Icarid dies, they get another 2/2. Okay. Urborg. Interesting. So let's go stage. I feel like we still know about these 3 cards in hand. But I think the best play here is probably just to... Do I wait? So we probably sack the Bayou for Bojuka Bog, and then we untap with 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So we will be off 1 mana to actually get Dark Depths and then combo off. So I wonder if we actually just don't Bog and we actually just go for the combo. They didn't Dredge. Interesting. So this also allows me to block a creature and then sack a land, making it the 3rd in the graveyard, pumping this up to a 3/4. Yeah, so we can go for Depths. And then we can even just go for Step if we need it to get through Narcomoebas. Cabal Therapy. Interesting. They get another 2/2 and they take the Decay. I think that's okay. Petal's okay. Did they attack? No attacks, okay. Alright. Sack this. Go and get Dark Depths. Untap. Can we do a crop rotation? Would be perfect. Hexmage. Okay, well that's actually pretty good as well. Because now we get to play Hexmage. And also Bog. So I guess we might as well Bog in upkeep. Is there really any point to not just wait to Bog? Yeah. Hey, Cyrus, welcome. I don't think there's anything that can get us here because we do have 2 great blockers. Hey, Cyrus with the follow. A huge thank you. Big fan. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so we have 2 great blockers in Reclaimer and a 2/1 with First Strike. Dark Depths is definitely getting hit this turn. So I'm happy for this to come back. Yeah, Loam seems pretty sweet with Lurrus because I've always been hit pretty hard by Loam, where I've Loamed and then hit my threats. But of course, with Lurrus, you can get back, you know, your Dark Confidants, your Elvish Reclaimers, your Hexmages, your Sylvan Libraries. So I definitely like the thought of this build with Lurrus. It just seems like a pretty easy swap, because the deck itself naturally doesn't play too many 3-drops or plus. Mainly sideboard cards like Liliana's or Toxic Deluge. Putrid Imp. That's going to be fine. We do have Step, which is great. Oh, it can't block? Classic. Okay. Trigger on the stack will sack and target Dark Depths. Gets rid of the last bridge. Gives us a 20/20. Yeah, I definitely seem favored. Having 8 crop rotations for Bojuka Bog is really nice. And then I feel like we're a little bit faster with our combo than they are of going wide with zombies. Sideboarding's interesting. We just played against Dredge, and we did take out a few cards. I'm not too sure how good like any hand disruption is. I definitely like Cage. I definitely like Spellbomb. I didn't mind the Safekeepers just because they're more creatures for the board. They make it a little bit awkward for my opponent to actually attack in if they don't want to lose bridges. Yeah, definitely. I think Hexmage is Reclaim is a very cool card. And definitely takes like a little bit of time to get there as well. It's not kind of like a 1-drop that just kind of does everything by itself. Still like the removal. Yeah, we brought in Therapy. We brought in Veil last time as well because of Therapy and how it can just pull apart our board. I don't think Needle's worth it. Force of Vigor we don't really need. Even if they have Silent Gravestone, Grab-Digger's Cage plays around that perfectly, and so does Bojuka Bog. Collector Ouphe is just a little bit too slow, and I don't want to turn off our Mox Diamonds either. So I think it might just be one Safekeeper, just to have a blocker that could be awkward for a like an Icarid or a like zombie. So I think this is okay. You like Thoughtseize? Yeah, Decay can be pretty awkward. The only time Decay is nice when we want to get rid of like Narcomoebas to get through with a combo, but maybe it's worth keeping in some number of Thoughtseize and taking out like 2 Decays in a trophy. Maybe Decay is a slight upgrade because we can actually target our own stuff if we do want to get rid of like a creature. Trained Pleb likes it as well. Okay. Maybe this is fine. 2 and 2. Yeah, Confidant can be interesting. I guess it's also a case of how many cards do we have to bring in. I think the games that I lose here are going to be the games where they go wide with zombies and bridge from below. So I kind of like having a high creature count to make sure that I can kind of make them stumble a little bit with how they attack. I think we'll see how this goes. I think we do have quite a good matchup, so I feel like if we do go to a game 3, we can kind of come back and talk about the sideboard again in between games 2 and 3. So this is a hand that just goes for the combo. So play Stage, play Mox, discard Dark Depths. Kind of want the Urborg as well. Could just be a little bit too slow. It's nice to also have the trophy in case they do have Narcomoeba. So turn 1 is Mox, Stage. Turn 2 is probably Urborg. Turn 3 is Dark Depths, and then we win on turn 4. We only have a little bit of disruption in between that. Our opponent has kept 7. We do also have Lurrus, which doesn't really do anything here. So the question is a turn 4 combo good enough? We have some pretty good draws. We can cast anything we draw into as well, which is nice. I'm gonna try this out. I don't usually keep a hand with just like a fast combo or like turn 4 combo, so I'm gonna keep and see how this goes. But I can definitely see an aggressive mulligan towards something like Crop Rotation, Elvish Reclaimer, Grafdigger's Cage, just because they're turn 1 interaction pieces. Looting, okay. I'm very happy you said you would keep. Okay, Bridge, Golgari, Grave Troll, nice. And then an LED follow-up for Flashback Bridge. Interesting. Are they just passing? Okay. Huh. Is there any reason not to LED here? Unless they miss on their 6 to find another Dredger? Maybe they don't have 2 in hand? I can only assume you don't LED Faithless Looting here because you don't have 2 Dredges in hand. And so you don't want to miss off the first? There we go. Okay. Double Bridge. Nice. Nothing too bad yet. That was kind of a whiff. So we can just draw into like Grafdigger's Cage here. Karakas. Huh. Definitely going Mox. Pitch Dark Depths. I wonder if I actually want to change the way I put out my lands in case we draw into Crop Rotation. So I can lead with Urborg here to hold up both Assassin's Trophy and then Veil, and then still turn 3, turn 4. But if we draw into Crop Rotation, we can do some shenanigans with floating mana off Dark Depths to then crop for stage. So I don't mind just going Urborg here. The one question is, if they actually hit a Faithless Looting here, they hit a Narcomoeba. Okay. That's fine. Cast this. We can definitely just Veil in response. Wasteland. So far, pretty good. They've had a pretty slow start. They do have 6 power on board, but, you know, I think that's something we can definitely race. So what I'm looking for here is a 1-drop. Bob's interesting. Bob still allows for shenanigans. Is there a reason to play Stage here over Dark Depths? I think I'd rather just get the Dark Depths into play. They haven't got something like Hogak in play or in the graveyard, so there's no point playing the Trophy just yet, or the Karakas. So I think we just go for Dark Depths and then hold up Mox. Another Narcomoeba, okay. So at least we have the trophy for that, unless they do hit us again with the Cabal Therapy. The Bob's kind of nice, because I kind of just want to block. So I'm going to assume they Narcomoeba pre-combat to make use of their bridges. The one nice thing about Virus as well, I could have actually gone for Lurrus here. Maybe that was correct. Maybe Lurrus is better, just because of the lifelink. But I don't think we're in a race as of yet. I think they're just a little bit too far behind. So they are going to Cabal Therapy us. That's going to be okay. They most likely name Assassin's Trophy because that's the card they know. They name Abrupt Decay. Interesting. Oh, they didn't know this, of course, because we veiled last turn. Apologies. Apologies. That's fake news. Okay. No attacks. That's fair. Alright, what do we hit? Reclaimer. Nice. Okay, let's go for stage. We can still play Reclaimer. Which will be a 3/4 once we make the 20/20, which is nice. The Reclaim is nice as well because if they do hit Narcomoeba here, we still have the Reclaimer to go and get Step, which gives protection and allows us to actually get through. But this is looking pretty tough for my opponent. They haven't had great Dredges. So I'm not sure if this is going to allow them to win this turn. They do have the 4 bridges. They have 3 mana. Yeah. Rough. Well, 3-0 is always the nicest way to start a league. Dredge, blue-green, OmniTell. Dredge, blue-green, OmniTell. Interesting. But yeah, deck feels pretty solid. Haven't had to use Lurrus yet, which is pretty funny. But yeah, this seems like a sweet build. I don't think there's too many changes that I make. Maybe around the split between Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy, but otherwise pretty happy. Up against Moiler. Play this. Interesting. We do have the combo, but we don't have too much else. It's very susceptible to Wasteland. And we don't have green mana, so I think I'm going to actually fold this one. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan this. It just doesn't do anything. I really want to have a hand with something like Reclaimer or Sylvan Library or Dark Confidant. Maybe a Mox Diamond would be really nice as well. We will mulligan. Do I want to go to 5? To be fair, this hand doesn't really do anything. We do have one half of the combo. We have a bit of fast mana in Mox Diamond. We have interaction in Wasteland and Bog, but otherwise, pretty lame hand. I'm going to mulligan this. This is a lot better. We'll keep this. And we have the Loam, which is nice. I also like the basic forest to lead on. So I think here I might drop the Urborg and it's probably just going to be the Bayou here and then hopefully get there with the combo. Can also find the Bayou with fetch lands, which is nice. Plains. Interesting. Swords is fine. No companion, no snow-covered plains. Maybe this is just death and taxes? Savannah. Okay, this actually looks like Maverick. Thalia. Okay. A little bit annoying, but not too bad. Sylvan Library. What do I want to do here? I think I just want to go for Step, Pass. Just so we have 3 mana next turn unless we get Wastelanded. Noble's not too bad. Another Knight would be pretty insane. Stoneforge is still really nice because now they get to maybe like attack with the Jide. Sort of fine nice, okay. Attack for 3, that's fine. Trophy's nice. I think we just go for Sylvan Library tap out. And then we just have the combo for the following turn if needed. Okay. Definitely going to take this. And to be fair, I think we just play around, like try to play around Karakas. I don't want to play around Wasteland because there's 4 of them in the deck. There's only probably 1 or 2 Karakas. Mazavith, interesting. Well, we can trophy that, which is nice. I guess Stage can also copy the Maze if we want to buy some time. Four, 5, 6. So if I pay 4 here and they have another Exalted Creature, we just lose to this Thalia. Because we pay 4, go to 7, and then they play another Exalted Creature. I mean, it's gonna be lethal anyway without it, so we can't actually pay any mana here. Put on top. Put on top. We also have the option of just casting Loam. Loaming the first and then looking at the second. So I can set up the top here to just Loam what I don't want to see and then hopefully find a black source off the top. Maybe that's better. sadly. I think that's better. So our options are... We're definitely playing Dark Depths. I guess we can also hold this up to see if they have a blocker or not. Actually, sorry. The Dark Depths does allow us to actually block the Thalia. Interesting situation here. I think I'm going to take a little screenshot. I think we just make the token. It plays around Wasteland. We can't play around Karakas. Yeah. Rough. This is an interesting one. I don't mind the needles for both Wasteland and Karakas. I also don't mind the Rite of Consumptions because of Karakas. Can probably go down on some hand disruption here. Although hand disruption is quite nice. Bog's still great because it does mean we can have some interaction with neither reliquary. I might drop a Loam, especially because of Scavenging Ooze. I don't really want to be relying on life in the Loam. Safekeeper is also interesting. I like Decays and Trophy. I like Sylvan Library. I like Hexmage. Maybe it's... Crop is pretty good, especially against a Wasteland deck. Bobs are great. Maybe it's just some number of... like this? -2 Loam, -2 Inquisition, -1 Bob, -1 Reclaimer. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. -2 Loam, -2 Inquisition. -1 Bob, and -1 Reclaimer. +2 Needle, +2 Right, +2 Safekeeper. Did I do something wrong here? Ah, both Loam. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Kind of a nothing hand. I think I'm happy to mulligan once. And this sadly is just double Dark Depths, which is pretty rough. I'll keep this. Alright. Bottom the stage and the crop. I definitely want to go turn 1 Dark Confidant. So I think it is the crop, unfortunately. We're more likely to draw into either Dark Depths or crop rotation than we are for just the Vampire Hexmages, so I don't mind just dropping the crop rotation, going turn 1 Hexmage. Oh, sorry, turn 1 Bob, and then hopefully turn 2 Hexmage into Dark Depth. So crop rotation going to the bottom. Hey, Paul, welcome. Yeah, the companions are pretty interesting. I don't have a... I've only played this one league with companions, but they do seem pretty powerful. I'm going to say one of the most powerful mechanics since Magic has ever been, since Magic was born. But yeah, there are... Oh, Karakas and swords? Rough. I wonder if I just want Lurrus here. The Karakas does hit it though, so I might just go for Hexmage. But yeah, companions seem pretty nuts. There are some that just seem a little bit more over the top than others, especially for a format like Legacy. Trop, interesting. Okay. Did not pick up that they were playing blue. I guess we might as well cast Lurrus, even though it's going to get Karakas. That is fine. I don't want a 6 here, because if they play Oko and target the Vampire, I probably just want to kill the Oko in response. Hey, DZ and Aveba here for the lols. Thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Step. I'm doing a whole lot. I guess we attack them for 2 and then just take care of the Oko with Hexmage, unfortunately. But yeah, the Karakas openings in both games have been pretty rough. We definitely have the tools to beat it, but it's just annoying to keep a hand that obviously doesn't play around. Double Wasteland's pretty rough too. Questing Beast? Maybe Green Suns for 3? I guess we have 1 draw for Abrupt Decay and that's it. Yeah, I don't think Reclaimer does it here. Yeah, this looks a bit too far behind. The hit on the Bob on turn 1 was really bad because that's what we really relied on to get our hand back to at least on par. Yeah. Rough. So we are 3-1. But yeah, Maverick definitely seems like a tough matchup. You really need to make sure that you get there pretty quickly with your hand disruption, and then maybe land a threat, and then try to get the combo off. But it's not a great deck to rely on the combo against. Mental, very cool. This is the combo, but it's a pretty slow combo. We don't also have green mana, so I'm gonna mulligan this. This I'll definitely keep, and I think here I'm just gonna bottom the second Bayou. Mana base for Jet Sky Delver. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Interesting. Brainstorm straight away. Huh. They playing Lurrus? Okay. Interesting. I think for this matchup, I'd rather throw out the Bob first. Second Mox is interesting. So let's go... I'm going to go for a basic. Cast Mox. Pitch Bayou. Play Bob. Grindstone. Ugh. Is this just like going to be it? I think it is. Literally. Yeah. Rough. Nuts. So Collector Ouphe is definitely coming in. Veil's actually yeah, Veil's actually nice because of the interaction with Painter. Force is good. Pithing Needle is okay. Maybe this is a one of. I think the companions are completely degenerate compared to Uro and Oko. I think Uro and Oko look so fair right now that it just seems, yeah, it just seems really strange for how the meta's shifted from, like, even from the start of, like, the Narset and Khan era to then Ran and Oko, and now just Oko and Uro, and now just companions everywhere. It's pretty insane. So this matchup is interesting. I think I might take out the Loams. Decays still seem fine. Library still seem great. Hexmages seem okay. Crops probably not needed as much. Cage is interesting if they're playing the Welder combo. Same with Needle, but I think we can just rely on the Bojuka Bog in the deck. Yeah, Legacy's in a weird spot, but it's kind of fun going along for the ride, but at the same time, it can just get you sometimes. Yeah, it's crazy. I kind of wish I had more time to play like with Uro and Oko during the Uro and Oko era, but that is okay. I'm gonna go down on Inquisitions and just keep the Thoughtseizes. I think this is okay. As maybe the Inquisition is actually really nice on the play against what pretty much is a combo deck. This is a nice hand. The only interesting thing is that, of course, Collector Ouphe is kind of a big no because of the Mox Diamond. But I don't mind this because we can go Mox, Urborg, Hexmage. And then if we draw into a land, it doesn't really matter. We can just cast the Collector Ouphe. Kind of nice to have the Veil as well. Oof. uh... Crazy. Well, at least the Collector Ouphe should hit these Lotus Petals pretty nicely. But that is value. Another Veil. Sadly, it's just Collector Ouphe pass. So I can pull apart the combo, or I can take the Wish Claw. I think it's just taking the Painter's Servant here, because it also might turn on some of their removal in like blast effects or something like that. But this kind of looks like a black-blue version, but I still like just taking the Painter's Servant here. I guess I could also just take the Ponder. Maybe the Ponder is actually the better take here. And just say, hey, if you have removal for the Collector Ouphe, you have removal for the Collector Ouphe. Yeah, it's very true. He can recast either of the other two. So taking the Ponder is probably just correct because, yeah, they can't get it back with Lurrus. And also these are kind of just turned off by the Collector Ouphe right now, which is nice. The opposite deck is a blue-black Painter deck. So the deck wins by playing Painter's Servant, naming a color being something. Everything's that color. And then Grindstone target you. You mill the top two, they're the same color, you keep doing it, and it just mills you out. Fetch is kind of scary, because it probably means they drew into something good. Huh. I chose white. Okay, well the Veils are dead. That's pretty classic. Is it worth Thoughtseizing? Take the chain. That was pretty lucky. Don't have a great out to Chain of Vapor. Hey, Fruvala. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the sub. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Nothing really to do here. Pretty unfortunate to have the Mox start with Collector Ouphe, but it was kind of needed. Okay, that's kind of cool. Wow, they have nothing. Okay. We really did need that. I don't think there's many other good draws, because even Abrupt Decay takes a land and Abrupt Decay. But if they're going for white, I think I'm taking out the Veils. And we might just go with maybe Spellbomb, because they are playing Lurrus, of course. And maybe Graph Cage. Could also go for Needle. I wonder if I like Safekeeper to keep Collector Ouphe protected. Or if that's overthinking. Yeah, Carl, you got me. You got me. Apologies. HE. Okay. Let's quickly look. So our opponent wins through artifacts, of course. So Pithing Needle and Collector Ouphes are great. I could play the second Needle. I don't want to dilute the deck too much from what our actual, what we're trying to achieve. Yeah, maybe the crops are actually better than these. I still like some number. I might even... Karakas is still okay because we can hit their Lurrus. So this is an interesting one. Maybe it's this. I still think having the 4 Bobs, the 4 Hexmage, the 4 Thoughtseize is really important. So we'll see how this goes. Force of Vigor would be really nice. Mental Misstep actually did an interview on the Green Sun Zenith, if you want to check it out. I'll try to find the link later. I think this is just a little bit too slow. A turn 2 Bob isn't nothing too great, and crop rotation by itself isn't going to be, game ending, so I'm going to mulligan this. This is pretty nice. I'll keep this. I'm going to bottom probably just the Wasteland and keep the Thoughtseize into Collector Ouphe. And just hope that Misstep doesn't go off this turn. Mox. I still think it's better just to Thoughtseize this turn and knock Mox into Collector Ouphe. Just to make sure the coast is kind of clear. They could fetch and Brainstorm. Maybe the Wasteland wasn't the worst. We could probably drop one of these and just keep the library, perhaps, and just rely on that as card advantage, not just both. Yeah, I think Inquisition maybe is not something that I want to cut. Perhaps there are worse cards, because it is just turn 1 interaction, which is nice. It also hits just a lot of their deck, especially against a Lurrus deck. Ugh. I think, honestly, it's the ritual here. And then everything else I can kind of hit with Collector Ouphe next turn. So we know about these. Getting back Wishclaw with Lurrus seems insane. They did have a Chain of Vapor last turn, which is kind of scary. I mean, if they have Grindstone here, they just win, right? Because they could go Painter, Mox, play Grindstone, and then LED away for 3 to then activate. Dark Depths. Definitely playing Ouphe. Oh, rough. And now they just have it. Yeah, because they can Wishclaw for Grindstone. Rough. So that is a 3-2, unfortunately. Nice to start off with a win, but then, yeah, just going down there was pretty rough. Maybe I sideboarded incorrectly. Maybe it was better to have the extra removal in Inquisition. But maybe even just having more Force of Vigor is something that I want, because there are a lot of decks right now that Force of Vigor is quite good against. But yeah, not much we can do there, unfortunately. A huge thank you to you guys for coming in and watching. I am off, but I'll be back probably Sunday morning. You can catch me on YouTube if you want to find my videos at YouTube/Dukes on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter at Twitter/Dukes on Twitch. A huge thank you to you guys for coming in and watching. It means a lot. It was nice to start off at 3-0, but then, you know, hitting those 2 matchups at the end is pretty rough. Would have been nice to go at least 4-1. But that is Magic sometimes. So enjoy your weekends. Stay safe. I'm going to see who else is playing, because hopefully I can send you guys over to raid another Legacy player. Let me quickly check. Nice. Okay, we got one. Raid Romario. Thank you as well to the Twitch subs, the followers. It all means a lot. So thank you very much. Enjoy your weekends, and we'll see you next time.